Generally, I do not really follow the news. I really don't like it. However, recently there was this really huge situation where Iran and United States had crazy tensions going on. A lot of people thought there was going to be, another big war, another really intense situation, and so far it seems that it didn't really happen. Thank God. That being said, you might be aware of the fact that around 2.5 years ago, I went to Iran and I spent 2 weeks traveling literally all around the country. I made a video about my experiences there. It's called My Daily Life in Iran. You can find it in the description box down below. And honestly, that trip was very different from what I expected going to Iran. And I remember before, going to the country, I was actually quite afraid. Yet being there, I was astonished by, how friendly the people were and how nice everyone treated me and stuff. And, so because there's all these talks happening, about Iran and stuff, I also wanted to make this video where I would share my experiences in that country and my experiences with the local people. I don't want to talk about, the government or politics or whatever. I'm really not into that. I just want to tell you what I saw and what I experienced in Iran traveling there as a solo traveler, so that hopefully you could get a better idea of what the country is really like. I don't know if many people will travel there now because of all the tensions. If you do travel there, this video is obviously going to be really useful to you on your trip. However, if you don't want to travel there or will never travel there, that's also fine. I think you will learn so much about Iran. So stick around, watch the video for as long as you like. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you don't agree with me, let me know in the comments. I really want to, have this conversation going between people, because I really don't think there should be wars at all in the world in the 21st century. These are 11 things you should never be doing in Iran. Let's go. Thing not to do in Iran, number 1 is do not forget to bring cash with you. Now, you probably know this, Iran has been a sanctioned country for a very long time, ever since the tensions began with the United States, after they took down the embassy. And because of that, their banking system is not connected to any other banking system in the world, meaning you can never pay for anything with your debit or credit card, and obviously none of the ATMs will ever work for you. Now, I somehow didn't really know this fact. Obviously, maybe I didn't do enough research going there. So when I came to the country, I only had maybe $200 for 2 weeks, and that's obviously not enough. So I was in a really tense situation, because there was hardly any other way for me to, get the money. So what I did is I found some sort of a guy who accepted the money via PayPal and gave me cash, but that was a very intense, very long situation. Definitely not recommended. So bring, as much cash as you need with you to the country, and then you shouldn't really face any problems. Thing not to do in Iran, number 2, is do not worry about being an American. So I know this is a really huge thing, and obviously it was a huge thing a few years ago when I was traveling in Iran. It's probably an even bigger thing right now because of all the tensions, of course. But when I was there, I was actually talking with, my guide that I had for a couple of days, and a lot of people that I met, and I also met some Americans as well. And so I was asking everyone, if, for example, if I was an American, if I had an American passport, would that actually be a thing? And everyone said, no, chill, we have a lot of American tourists. And even though people from the US, Canada, and the United Kingdom cannot travel there solo, they need to go on a guided tour, but everyone really treats them well as any other tourist. In a way, a lot of people are actually very excited that, Americans, for example, come there, because that means, they respect their country and they want to see what it's really like, as opposed to only watching the news and stuff. Now, I'm not sure if that has changed over the last, few days or a few weeks. I really hope it hasn't, but when I was there, it was completely fine. So yes, I guess do a bit of research about the current situation, but when I was there, it was completely fine to be an American, and everyone, in fact, was really happy to welcome you and, share drinks with you. Thing not to do in Iran, number 3, is do not wear shorts. As you know, Iran is a guess, a bit of a conservative country. Not only because people are conservative, but also some of the laws are quite conservative as well. And one of those laws is that you cannot really, show a lot of your body, really. So for women, that means you always need to cover your shoulders and your arms and obviously your legs and stuff. And also women need to wear either hijabs or scarves. It's not really like a lot of the women when they wear scarves, especially the foreigners, they really wear it like this, so you can still see their hair and stuff. So it's not really enforced big time, but I mean, you have to have something to cover your hair. And for men, that means never wearing shorts. I mean, shorts are illegal in Iran, which is maybe funny, but it's a really interesting, really unique thing in a way. So you always need to wear pants. For men, t-shirts are also okay if they cover the shoulders as well. So yes, I guess dress a bit more conservatively than you might be used to at home. But for most people that I met, it didn't really cause a lot of inconvenience. In a way, it was a pretty interesting experience being there as a tourist and having to always wear pants and stuff, So you should be fine. Just do not wear shorts. Thing not to do in Iran number 4, which is actually really cool thing, and that is do not be surprised when you get loads of things for free. Now, Iran is one of those really awesome countries where if you're there as a guest, people respect you so much more than in most other countries around the world. Their hospitality is not just, being nice to you and smiling to you and stuff. It's doing so much more. And one of those things is they always give you things for free. It's crazy. Like imagine, let's say I go to a grocery store, let's say I buy, various things for my lunch for whatever, $6. And let's say I only have a $20 note, yeah? So I give it to them, but for them it's a big note, and let's say they don't have change. They'll say, oh yeah, don't worry about it, just take it home, And then I'd be insisting on paying and stuff, and they'd say, no, you're a guest, do not worry. Thank you for coming to my country, I respect it, have a nice day. And that's literally it, in a grocery store. What? That's crazy. And I mean, I've had so many situations like this. Obviously not always, it depends on the person, some people might not want to give you things for free, it's their choice. But I probably had situations like this maybe 10 times, being invited for tea, for coffee, being given free snacks or sweets, free groceries, free rides, I mean, all sorts of things. So if you're in Iran and someone offers you free things, generally it's not a scam. Generally, people are just being really nice, really friendly, and really hospitable to you, so you can be surprised, but don't be too surprised. Thing not to do in Iran number 5 is do not forget to double check about invitations for lunch or dinner. So once again, as I already established, Iranians are very hospitable people. In fact, they're some of the most hospitable people I've ever met in my entire life. But there's this thing where sometimes if they offer you to take you out for lunch or out for dinner, let's say they just meet you on the street and they go, oh, you want to have dinner with us? I'm buying or something like this. Sometimes for some people it is like a cultural thing to be nice as opposed to an actual invitation, So what you need to do is you always need to double check with them, because I've heard so many funny stories from other travelers. For example, let's say people from the UK or countries like this, they generally don't want to be rude or impolite. So for them, turning some offer down is like is a very tricky thing. So for example, let's say there would be a few English people traveling the country, and then some locals approach them and they go, you want to have lunch with us or dinner with us? And then let's say they don't really want to go because they're busy, right? But they don't want to turn them down, so they go, well, okay, I guess let's go. But then in those specific cases, the local people asked because they wanted to seem polite, you know what I mean? So both parties didn't want to be impolite, but then both parties don't want to have that lunch together. But they all go, and I mean, they don't want to be there, but they do it. So always double check when people are offering you free things or lunch or dinner or whatever. Most of the time they really mean it, but I guess 5% of the time they might just be trying to be polite. So you're definitely not going to be rude if you double check. And then if they say, oh no, of course, let's go, then of course you go and have yourself the best time ever. Thing not to do in Iran, number 6, and once again a super funny thing, and that is do not overeat on onions. So Iran is the only country in the world that I've seen where literally every restaurant you go to for food, they always bring you the food, then obviously some salad or whatever on the side, and they will always give you a full big onion, just like this. They don't cut it, they don't do anything with it, they just give it to you. I really do like onions, so I was eating them every single day. They're free, they're so tasty, they're so good. But yeah, I guess, be careful with it, because if you eat all the onions they give you, you'll be eating 10 onions per day, and that might be a bit too much. Thing not to do in Iran, number 7, is do not display your affection publicly to your partner. So as you probably know, in most Muslim countries around the world, people generally do not really, kiss in public, or they definitely don't make out in public and stuff. And I guess it makes sense. It's part of the culture and part of the religion as well. And Iran is definitely one of the more conservative countries among them. So yes, do not do things like that. Even if you're traveling with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, you can do whatever you like in your hotel room, but not out on the street. Thing not to do in Iran, number 8, is do not expect to find alcohol. When I was there, I definitely wasn't searching for alcohol. So I'm not really sure you could find it. Maybe in some really fancy hotels, or maybe in the underground bars or whatever. But I know it's going to be hard. Once again, it's sort of similar with most Muslim countries that are a bit more strict, like Saudi Arabia and stuff. And so don't expect to find alcohol. Just chill, relax. You can definitely live life without it, for sure. Thing not to do in Iran, number 9, is do not be surprised when people approach you on the street. In quite a few countries around the world, when you're traveling as a tourist, if people approach you on the street, generally it might not be the best thing. It could be part of a scam, or maybe they want to sell you something, or maybe they want to take you somewhere where they're getting a commission. You know what I mean? There's all these things happening. So as a solo backpacker traveling the world for 6 years now, I learned not to necessarily be too excited when someone randomly approaches me on the street to talk to me. However, in Iran, the situation was completely different. I was approached by literally dozens of people everywhere I went, and they simply wanted to talk to me. Literally, that's it. They either wanted to offer me free things, or invite me somewhere, or literally just talk to me because they wanted to practice their English, or they wanted to ask my opinion about the current world affairs, or what I think about Iran, or things like that. So don't be surprised. Just embrace it. I think it's generally super nice experiences. Literally every traveler I ever met in Iran told me that some of the best things they did throughout the trip was just talk to the local people and see where life took them. So yes, don't be surprised about it, be excited about it. Thing not to do, number 10, is don't offer to shake hands with the opposite sex. Once again, this is a similar thing to a few of the others, where Iran is a bit conservative in some ways, maybe quite conservative in some ways, and one of them is obviously that if you don't really know someone of the opposite sex, if you're not part of the family, or if you're not really good friends and stuff, you generally don't shake hands or touch or kiss on the cheek. It's not friends, right? So just don't offer to shake hands with men if you're a woman, and woman if you're a man. If the local person offers to shake their hand and stuff, wonderful, go for it, but don't necessarily initiate it yourself, because it could be seen as a bit rude and stuff. Even though I'm sure people would know that you don't know, because you're a foreigner, right? Just see what they do and follow their lead. And finally, the last thing not to do in Iran, number 11, is do not give people the thumbs up. I guess in Europe and quite a few other places, this means like a great thing. It was like, yeah, let's go, cool bro, awesome, stuff like that. But in Iran, it means something else. It means, you know what I mean. It means something else. Don't really use it too much, even if you want to hitchhike. And I know that a lot of people are hitchhiking in Iran, including a friend of mine called Nick from Indigo Traveler. He had awesome experiences hitchhiking in Iran. So even then, you don't do this. You do something like, oh hey, or this, you don't do this. Well, that's pretty much it. Those are the 11 things I would advise you not to do in Iran. I really do hope that this gave you maybe a better perspective of what the local people really are, because you don't really get to see things like this on the news. You get to see politics and wars and attacks and rockets and this and that. Yet in reality, most of the people in the country might be quite different from what we sometimes tend to think, and certainly the people in Iran were some of the friendliest, some of the most hospitable, some of the nicest people I've seen or met in my entire life. And I'm sure that if you go to the country someday, maybe when it's not as tense as it is right now, you'll have a very similar experience to mine. That all being said, I really want to thank the wonderful sponsor of this video. Apparently it's an American company, which I love to do one back for sponsoring a video about Iran. They're awesome. They're one of my favorite companies in the whole world, and the company is called Skillshare. Everything I learned about business, online business, marketing, about filmmaking, editing, and all these things came from either books or online courses. And so a lot of the things that I've learned personally was from Skillshare specifically, because Skillshare is one of the largest online courses platforms in the world. It's a place where millions of creative people come together to learn from one another, to watch online courses, to improve their skills about literally any kind of topic you can think of. Freelancing, software engineering, design, filmmaking, editing, voiceovers, literally anything. And so if you want to become a digital nomad yourself and travel the world for as long as I have, you really do need to pick up some sort of an online skill. And there's no better platform in the world for that, I think, than Skillshare. Now, as always, Skillshare are giving my awesome audience an incredible deal where if you go to the link in the description box right now and you register, you will get a 2 months free premium membership with them. And then, if you want to extend, wonderful. If you don't want to extend, wonderful as well, and no commitment. Man, we were editing the video right now and I just realized that I forgot to mention that one of my favorite courses on Skillshare is this course that's called How to Stand Out and Make Money on YouTube by my boy Joshua Brooks. So definitely go give Skillshare a shot. Click the link in the description box down below and check out the course as well. I'm sure you're gonna love it. Let's get back to the video. And if you do decide to extend, they're incredibly affordable. You can watch literally thousands of online courses for as little as $10 per month if you get the annual subscription. And I definitely couldn't recommend Skillshare enough, especially since they sponsored a video about Iran. Epic company, epic company. Once again, thank you so much for watching the video until the end. I really hope you learned some things about, the Iranian people, which might be different from what you tend to see on the news. And I really hope that somehow we can all understand that in the 21st century, we really shouldn't be making wars, but we should be making peace. We're all nice, we're all kind, we're all beautiful in our own ways, and we're all really good friends. So thank you, have a wonderful day, and I guess if you ever get to see Iran with your own eyes, definitely go for it. I really hope that even American people can go there, hopefully in the future if things calm down a bit.